came home and she was emotional. I hadn't asked anything. I knew that she hadn't been feeling well, but she couldn't open a water bottle one day. She chucked it and she started crying. And I said, "What's wrong?" And that's when she told me. And she goes, "I don't know what to do. The list is 7 to 10 years long." And it just vomited out of me. I was like, of course.
I had arthritis. My kidneys were shutting down. My mentality was just to keep going. I didn't realize how much it was.
Now, can we just talk about Selena Gomez's wedding for a second? Because yeah, it was stunning. The kind of fairy tale setup you'd see on the cover of a luxury magazine. The dress, the venue, the guest list, all pure Hollywood glam. She and Benny Blanco said "I do" in Santa Barbara, surrounded by the biggest names you could imagine. Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Martin Short, Nina Dobrev, the full A-list lineup. But here's the thing, everyone online noticed who wasn't there. Francia Raisa, the same Francia who back in 2017 literally gave Selena one of her kidneys. That's not just friendship, that's a life-saving bond. So for Selena to walk down that aisle without even inviting her, yeah, people had serious questions. And honestly, it's got the internet buzzing like crazy. It's not even about feeling entitled to an invite, it's about the history. Because if you're out here calling Taylor Swift your only real friend in the industry, while the same girl who literally went through surgery for you is sitting at home, that says a lot. Fans caught on fast, and now everyone's whispering that this wedding might have just confirmed what people have been suspecting for years, that Selena and her kidney donor never fully made peace. And here's where it gets wild. Just days before the wedding, Francia Raisa sat down for an interview with Magli Ortiz. And that timing, way too suspicious. When asked how she felt about Selena smoking and drinking after that life-changing transplant, Francia didn't explode or throw shade. She kept her cool, which made it all feel even colder. Instead, she brushed it off. But not in a "we're cool" kind of way. She said, "Well, what you're asking me is nonsense. There are too many rumors. I've never said anything translation." She's over people twisting her story, but at the same time, she didn't deny anything. That silence spoke louder than words. Francia also claimed she'd never even heard the rumors about being mad at Selena for smoking. And sure, that sounded calm on the surface, but her tone? That careful, clipped, "I've never said anything" had everyone thinking she was holding something big back. When the interviewer pushed for more, Francia shut it down fast, saying, "One day, maybe we'll address it." And that line, it froze people in their tracks. It didn't sound like closure, it sounded like a warning, like there's still a story left untold. And for anyone who wasn't around back in 2017, let's not forget, Selena Gomez was literally fighting for her life back then. She had been battling lupus for years, and things got so bad that doctors told her she needed a kidney transplant immediately. Like, this wasn't just a health scare, it was life or death. And just to remind you how intense it was, here's what Selena herself once shared about that dark chapter. Out of everyone in her circle, it was Francia Raisa who stepped up. No hesitation, no second thoughts. Selena even shared the emotional moment online, posting photos of the two of them holding hands from their hospital beds, calling Francia her beautiful friend, and saying she gave her the ultimate gift, the gift of life. At that point, they weren't just best friends. They were like sisters for real. I mean, this girl literally saved Selena's life. But somewhere along the line, something shifted, and not in a small way. Fast forward to 2022, when Selena sat down for that Rolling Stone interview and casually dropped the now infamous line about how her only friend in the industry was Taylor Swift. That one quote set the internet on fire. Everyone was like, "Wait a second, what about the woman who gave you a kidney?" Francia saw the comment, quietly replied, "Interesting," under a post, and then deleted it just as fast. But that one word hit harder than a whole essay. Fans instantly knew something had cracked between them, and it clearly never got fixed. The online reaction? Absolutely brutal. One fan wrote, "Not inviting someone who gave you one of their organs to your wedding, especially when she's supposed to be your friend, is just diabolical." Hard to believe. People started saying maybe they just couldn't patch things up, even if they tried. One comment that totally blew up read, "Selena is so ungrateful. Why didn't she ask for a kidney from her mother, father, sister, or even her cousins? Shame on her. She's alive because of this kind woman. She should have given her millions by now." Another person added, "She wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for Francia." And honestly, you can't tell me folks didn't have a point. Because whether Selena and Francia actually fought or not, the whole situation looked bad. Like, seriously ungrateful. It makes you stop and wonder, did fame mess up what used to be real love and loyalty?
Being bullied like crazy.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good.
No, it's not. They're pretty bad.
Okay.
I think the one that probably hurt the most was, I hope someone goes up your feet and rips out your other kidney. Poor.
Damn.
My best friend. Her name is Francia. She said, no, I'm absolutely getting tested. So within 3 days, she went to do it and she was a match. And it was one of those moments where I felt watched over. I know I was so lucky.
The thought of asking somebody to do that was really difficult for me. She volunteered and did it, and let alone somebody wanting to volunteer, it is incredibly difficult to find a match.
After that, she had a rift with Selena because she was mad that Selena had been drinking after she gave her.
Or was this friendship never as unbreakable as everyone thought it was? It seemed like things were already tense, and when people started calling Selena out for shading Francia, she jumped online to do some quick damage control. Under a TikTok that mentioned the drama, she commented, "Sorry I didn't mention every person I know." But that response? Yeah, it didn't help one bit. It actually made things way worse. Fans took it as pure sarcasm, like she was brushing off the one person who literally gave her an organ. And honestly, it's not even about forgetting to mention Francia. It's the pattern. Selena's always been known for that sweet, humble, girl-next-door image. But when you start looking at how she treats people closest to her, things don't always add up. Even after Francia gave up her kidney, rumors started swirling that Selena had gone back to drinking and smoking. And that's when the cracks in their friendship really started to show. And honestly, that's when things started getting really messy again. This wasn't just random internet gossip anymore. This was real, direct tea. In 2023, Francia's dad, Renan Monterrubio Colo, went on a Spanish talk show and basically said out loud what everyone had been whispering for years. According to him, his daughter did confront Selena about drinking after the transplant. And from his point of view, Selena's whole attitude had changed. He claimed the fame, the money, the spotlight. It all went straight to her head, and it broke Francia's heart. He even said that Francia told Selena straight up, "I didn't give you a kidney so you could go out and drink." And a line like that? It doesn't just fade away, it burned into people's minds. Because no matter how calm, sweet, or unbothered Selena seems online, those who've been close to her keep hinting that things behind the scenes are way less perfect than she wants us to believe. Francia never came out and confirmed what her dad said, but she didn't deny it either. And let's be real, that silence spoke volumes. To make things worse, Francia's been brutally honest about how nasty Selena's fan base can get. Back in 2023, she admitted she'd been bullied nonstop ever since the whole kidney drama resurfaced, and it hasn't slowed down since. People have been flooding her comments, calling her jealous or ungrateful, which is just wild when you think about it, because she's the one who literally gave up an organ. The woman risked her own life for her friend, and somehow she's the one getting dragged online? Now she's stuck in this impossible spot. If she speaks up, people call her bitter. But if she stays quiet, she gets dragged all over again. It's like no matter what Francia does, the internet twists it against her. And honestly, that's the saddest part. While Selena's out here living her best life, posting selfies with her new husband, Francia's still defending herself for something as selfless as saving someone's life. What most people don't even realize is that Francia's been fighting her own private battles this whole time. And she's been doing it quietly, with strength. Recently, she opened up on TikTok, revealing that she was diagnosed with ADHD and chronic PTSD. She said, 3 months ago, I learned I have ADHD and chronic PTSD. Since then, I've been in intense therapy, learning, unlearning, and finally, just healing. And that confession hit people hard. It showed how much she's truly been carrying in silence. She opened up about how dancing, something that once brought her pure joy, actually became a painful trigger after a heartbreaking breakup years ago. But now, she's finding her rhythm again, using it to heal piece by piece. And honestly, that hit people right in the feels because while Francia's out here trying to rebuild herself, Selena's nowhere to be seen. The same friend she once stood by through surgeries, recovery, and emotional pain, gone. It's like their entire friendship flipped upside down. When Selena needed help, Francia gave her part of herself. But now that Francia's the one needing love, care, and support, Selena's completely missing from the picture. And looking at everything that's gone down, it's tough to know who's really at fault. But let's be honest, when you line up the facts, Selena doesn't come out looking too good in this one. I mean, let's be real. Selena wouldn't even be here living out her fairy tale wedding if Francia hadn't literally risked her life for her. And no, I'm not saying Selena owes her everything, so before her fans start typing essays, relax. But come on, it's just basic respect. You'd think she'd at least set aside whatever drama went down and make sure the woman who saved her life had a seat at that wedding. Then again, it was Selena's big day. Her moment, her choice. She's got every right to decide who's invited and who's not, even if people don't like it. But here's the thing, Francia's not completely innocent either. Let's be honest, she's thrown a few quiet jabs over time too. Was she being a little possessive about that kidney? Maybe, but it's hard to blame her when the whole world keeps bringing it up. Maybe just a little, but honestly, can you even blame her? If you gave your best friend an organ and then saw her out partying, drinking, and smoking again, you'd definitely feel some type of way too. At the same time though, Selena never asked for that kidney. She accepted it, she said thank you, and she moved on. But she never promised to become a perfect saint afterward. So maybe, just maybe, both of them are right in their own way. One reacting out of hurt, the other out of guilt. But the real heartbreak here? Instead of healing privately, their story became a headline. And that's what stings most, because Selena's always been painted as this super relatable, down-to-earth girl who preaches kindness and mental health. Yet this whole mess exposed a side people weren't ready to see. But when you really look at how she moves, the quiet fallouts, the friendships that vanish without a trace, it makes people start to wonder if that sweet girl image is just a performance. Because real kindness isn't about posting long captions or giving emotional interviews about gratitude. It's about remembering the ones who stood by you when no one else did. And whether she means to or not, Selena's actions make it seem like she's outgrown the very people who helped her get there. And if Francia ever decides to finally speak up and tell her side, Selena's whole perfect girl era might not survive the storm that follows. So, if you want to keep up with all the latest Hollywood tea, don't forget to subscribe to the Lana Sip channel, drop a like below, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading them all!